Yeah, we'll start with Christmas and then
All
ghosts.
right.
Oh,
Let's do it,
hey,
man.
we are alive, everybody. Ready.
Oh my goodness. Merry gosh darn Christmas. You know
Or
we're
Eddie's favorite, Merry Krampus.
Merry Krampus. This is what we're doing for you guys. And I never say that Uchoose podcast isn't trying new things.
Exactly.
We decided, in the vein of the line in the Christmas Carol, most wonderful time of the year, there's a line where they say, and scary ghost stories
Yes.
of Christmases long, long ago. And we just say that, we're like, scary ghost stories? Yes. You can have a little bit of a scary ghost story. So tonight we're doing a little mashup for you guys, where we're going to pop off with the classic Choose Your Own Adventure book, Home in Time for Christmas,
We're going to.
involving two of our most favorite things from the 80s, time travel and Christmas.
And ghosts.
And ghosts, dude.
Yeah. We're gonna mix it up, Eddie. We're just gonna open that pot of soup and just close our eyes and just throw ingredients in.
Just listen, you're getting a Christmas soup. There might be some candy canes in there. There might be some glass ornaments.
Yes.
You don't know what's going to come.
Home Alone, Matchbox cars,
or real quick before we get into it, I was going to say to people, you never know, and people who've, we've been podcasting for years. I think I'm trying to do the math in my head, Lee. I think this is actually the 10th year I've been podcasting.
Since 2013?
Yeah.
Wow.
A decade of podcasts in your face.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just realized that actually too. I was like, how long have I been doing? Oh, it's been 10 years.
Let's see. What is the 10th anniversary? I have no idea. It's probably like emerald.
I think it's a fist.
It's a fist. You get a fist bump.
There it is. And if anyone who's been listening to any of the podcasts I've been doing over the years, you've heard me tell and retell this story. I'm not going to retell it now because we don't have time for that. But I will say my story of the ever elusive Castle Grayskull at Christmas.
Yes.
And for a guy who didn't get it at Christmas originally, I have done my darndest to make sure that I have plenty of Castle Grayskull Christmas ornaments. This baby is hanging on my tree. Don't you think?
Eddie's tree's just all Castle Grayskull. There's nothing else.
It's all Castle. The entire tree is just all Castle. That would be the best Christmas tree. All the ornaments are just Castle Grayskull. And tiny awesome attack tracks.
Oh man, that you can just wind up and let go and get rid of any Christmas carolers that show up at your doorstep.
Pray for the best. They came out with Hot Wheels Matchbox cars sized He-Man vehicles as well. And the Sky Sled is almost sized perfectly for the Castle Grayskull. If you look at the size here.
Really, yeah.
It's like, you know what else I just found out? I've owned this thing for like 3 years. Look what it does, Lee. Just like the toy. Becomes a little sled.
Nice. You had that for 3 years. Didn't even know.
I just assumed it was one whole piece. Anyway, my point is,
keeps on giving.
Just keeps on giving. Just when you thought you had found enough coolness in your life. But we're about to give you some more. A trip. This is now our third. Is this our third year reading this book?
Third Christmas. Yeah, third Christmas special.
Third Christmas of reading Home in Time for Christmas.
Yes.
Which we just found this out. Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That I had a heck of a time finding any Christmas Choose Your Own Adventures. This is the only one that I know of.
It's the only one. I own a hard copy of this one. I had redone my library, and so I think it's actually in another place. But I own a hard copy of this story.
Yes.
And it is basically a Christmas special Choose Your Own Adventure book.
It is.
What was I going to say also?
We'll have to we'll tease it. Most Choose Your Own Adventure books have aliens. We'll see if there's any aliens in this one.
We'll have to see when we get there. Real quick, also, we have just found this out this week, but I'm assuming it's only a matter of time here, where we will also be streaming off of Instagram.
Oh yes, yeah, they just added
Yeah,
that, so we can start.
just added that feature. So
Yeah, so stay tuned. Otherwise, right now we're streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. So, all
pick
right,
your app.
pick your app and have some fun. So, for those of you that are new, the way this works is when we get to decision point in the book, just chime in on the chat and let us know which page you want to go to. This can be a little different. So, when we get to a decision in the Christmas book, we'll actually go to the page that's in Ghost Hunter. And then when we get to the decision in Ghost Hunter, we'll actually go back to the Christmas book. So it's going to be a mix up, mash up, monstrous sort of thing. So hang on for the ride.
We are definitely doing the holiday mashup of Home in Time for Ghost Hunter Christmas.
There you go.
So are we going to do this where I'm going to stay on the Ghost Hunter side of things?
Yes.
Correct.
Stay on the Home in Time for Christmas side. So
All
that's
right.
Go back and forth.
To give kids a preview of my cover, this is what I'm looking like.
Yep. I can actually here. I'll go back to it here. Here's Ghost Hunter by Edward Packard himself. And then we will be going in Home in Time for Christmas. So I'll try to switch back and forth for those of you watching so you can kind of see where we're at. All right, let's get started. Home in Time for Christmas. This one was more for the younger reader.
It really was.
Yep, came out in 1987. And a picture of a stocking.
87. I was 10, Lee. How old were you?
Old. I was 13.
Oh, wow.
Well, not quite 13, 12, technically. Yeah. All right. Christmas Eve, and you and your sister, Allison, have been hanging ornaments on the tree all afternoon. The only decoration left is the beautiful silver angel that goes on the top. This year is the first time you get to put the angel on the tree. You're going to hurt yourself, Allison announces, watching you climb the steep wooden ladder. You're just jealous, you tell your sister. It's easy. You lean across the branches and tie the angel in place. Snap. Suddenly, the step under you gives way. You fall to the floor and hit your head with a loud thunk. You notice, Eddie, we have nobody's holding the ladder. Nobody's checking it. We just climb.
There's no Kid OSHA in the 80s.
No Kid OSHA. Exactly.
And by the way, we're already checking off. We're not even one page deep into this Choose Your Own Adventure book, and we already have one of the hallmark things in a Choose Your Own Adventure story: head trauma.
Yep, concussed.
Yes, concussion.
Always getting concussed.
Already checking one off the list.
Concussion
has happened.
All right. It worked. Oh, wait, let me make sure. Yeah, turn to page 2. It worked. Someone cries. You blink your eyes and look around. 2 boys are peering at you. You strapped into some kind of chair, old-fashioned laboratory. Where am I? Who are you? You ask. You're in London. I'm Daniel, and this is my friend Aubrey, the taller boy says. London, you cry? London, England? Yes, Daniel says with great satisfaction. London, England, December 24th, 1842. We've brought you back in time. Pest and time travel, all in a matter of days. Yes. Back in time, you cry. When are you from? Aubrey asks innocently. What difference does it make? It's Christmas Eve, you cry. If I don't get home soon, I might miss it. Miss Christmas, Daniel chimes. Don't worry, my friend. You can have Christmas here with us. Yes, Aubrey adds cheerfully. We'll teach you about the past, and you can tell us all about the future. But Christmas isn't the same without your family, you say, getting a lump in your throat. We'll stay for a few hours then, Daniel says. At least let the time machine cool down. If you insist on returning to your own time immediately, turn to page 12. If you decide it's okay to stay in the past for a few hours, turn to page 15. So do we return or do we stay in the past? Let us know in the chat.
You know, in all honesty, a 1987 kid hanging out with 1842 kids.
Yeah.
You're like, what's there to do here at Christmas? Get cholera?
Yeah.
You know?
No, you You have your choice: cholera or tuberculosis. Take your pick.
Yeah. Choose your disease that'll shorten your lifespan. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll just be crippled.
Cripple like me, as he holds up.
Holds up his cane. Like, ooh.
You get one of these
Yeah,
for Christmas.
exactly. And then literally like, ooh, mommy, a lead soldier for Christmas.
Oh yes, let me lick it. Let me lick it clean.
Exactly. The next year, like I see a grave where little Timmy once was because he played with lead action figures.
Clutching his lead
Now
soldier.
more lead. Oh,
Yes.
stay in the past or the story ends. Jesse's already knows. He already knows what happens.
All right.
So what's our
the
page here?
Let's see. The past, page 15. So we'll go to page 15 in
Ghost
the
Hunter.
Ghost Hunter. All right.
Page 15. Here we go. Maybe it's only the wind, you say. Jenny clutches your arm tightly. The wind never sounds like that. Then I guess it's a ghost. Instantly.
Right away.
Jenny places her mouth close to your ear. If we're going to trap it, we have to surround it. One of us must go up on the roof and shine the flashlight down the chimney while the other watches the fireplace. How can we get up on the roof? I noticed an upstairs porch on the left side of the house, Jenny answers. It wouldn't be hard to swing onto the roof from there. Do you want to try it or shall I? If you say you'll go on the roof, turn to page 41. If you decide to stay by the chimney, turn to page 55.
All right. Let us know in the chat if we go to the roof or do we stay by the chimney?
Already Santa themed. We got chimney and roofs.
I know. How ironic that wasn't even planned and it's already.
We're
See?
sticking to the theme.
These books are more in sync than you think.
This is like the Wonderwall Boulevard of Broken Dreams mashup you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, but you get it.
She's asking you to swing. Not that kind of swing, Jesse. It's not that kind of Christmas party.
Jesse, what kind of party is this?
Jesse has his car keys out.
Yes.
No!
Stay by the chimney. Okay. So
Gee.
that is page 55. We'll go to Home in Time for Christmas and go to page 55. All right, let me get there. Boom. Jump clear ahead. We're jumping, but we're actually making decisions. Right. Oh, wait. We're running into a problem here. We only got 48 pages in this book, Eddie.
Yes, already logistical issues.
Oh, yeah.
What we'll do is we'll just go to the page here, and then once we have a page number we can go to, we will.
Okay. So
page
go back
to 55. Yep.
Okay.
And I can just read the house, but we'll stay on that.
Okay.
Let's see here. 55. You stand by the fireplace, ready to capture the ghost if Jenny scares it out. The wailing and moaning have stopped, and you wonder if it's because the ghost knows you are tracking it down. Perhaps it's like a wild animal that once it knows it's being stalked, freezes and waits, ready to fight or flee if its adversary comes upon you. Very slowly, you inch towards the fireplace. You bend down to look up the chimney. As you stoop, your eye catches a painting on the wall, one of those portraits that is painted so that the eyes seem to follow you wherever you move.
Ooh.
You stop, hypnotized by those eyes. You wonder if you are looking at a painting of a man whose ghost now haunts this very house. You shiver as the chill air coming down the chimney seems to wrap around you. Suddenly a scream from Jenny up the roof. It's in the attic. I've got to get down. I almost fell. If you run to the upstairs porch to see if you can help Jenny, turn to page 79. If you run upstairs to the attic, turn to page 60.
All right. Let us know in the chat. You know, Jenny's back is looking really good. There's lots of space there for some knives, Eddie. I bet you. That's what we're thinking.
We got like, how do I betray Jenny right now? I don't want to wait. Like some people got to wait for their Christmas present. I don't want to wait for this Christmas present. I want to betray. Run to the attic.
Run to the attic, Ricky says. Okay.
Attic, turn to page 60. Okay, I'm going to keep going here, Lee, if that's...
Run upstairs to the attic. Okay. All right. Yep. Page 60.
You rush up to the attic and boldly throw open the door. Before you is a thin, frail figure. His face is pale and his eyes have a hollow look. He turns and lurches toward you. You start to scream, but stop. It's not a ghost, but a live boy. About 16, you'd guess. His face has a gentle expression, and he looks more frightened than frightening. Please don't tell them about me, he begs. You step forward to look more closely at this poor, tattered figure. Judge much? Geez.
I know.
Who are you? My name is Lewis. I ran away from home. Perfect for betraying, you think to yourself.
Oh, yes.
I've been living here for 2 months. I make these weird noises to scare people away. If they find out I'm not a ghost, they'll kick me out. I have no other place to stay. Hello, are you up in the attic? It's Jenny's voice from downstairs. She must have safely gotten off the roof. Yeah, we just blew her right off. We don't care.
Yeah, we didn't care that she was in danger.
Yes, come on up, you call back. Turning back to Lewis, you introduce yourself, but Lewis does not offer to shake hands. Why did you leave home, you ask? It must have been pretty bad for you to choose this kind of life. Turn to page 65. Illustration of what could still be a scary Christmas ghost story so far.
Just a boy in tattered clothes.
Lewis suddenly sits down on the floor and leans back against the wall, staring into space. You wonder whether he has forgotten you're there. Are you in here? Comes Jenny's voice again. She's at the top of the attic stairs. Over here, you yell. And to Lewis you say, meet my friend Jenny. Jenny runs up beside you, stopping short as she spots Lewis. Why, you're not a ghost, she says to him. But if you don't start eating more, you soon will be. Lewis smiles for the first time and slowly gets to his feet. He ran away from home, you explain to Jenny. I live with my uncle, Lewis says. He was drunk a lot, and I bet you'd like a hot bath and a good meal, Jenny says. You can come over to my place, you add. We'll fix you up. Thanks very much, Lewis says. He walks over to the corner of the attic, gathers up some clothes strewn on the floor, and stuffs them in a backpack. Then he follows you and Jenny down the stairs and out of the house. Turn to page 67. Lewis, is there anyone else you could live with besides your uncle? Jenny asks as the three of you walk down the road. His face brightens for a moment. My half-brother lives in Alaska, he said. He said I could come up and live with him, but I'd have to raise my own bus fare, and that's a lot of money. Maybe so, you say, but we'll help you find a way. You could even join our team of ghost hunters, Jenny says with a laugh. After all, you've had valuable experience living in that haunted house. I don't know if I want to be a ghost hunter, Lewis says, but I'm pretty good at carpentry. Great, you say. I know a builder. I'm sure he could use one on his crew. Because we're 9.
Because we're 9.
Lewis, says Jenny emphatically, sorry, you're already halfway to Alaska. The end.
The end. Oh, man.
This mashup didn't go the way we thought it would.
No, not as well as I thought it would. But, we know contractors, and we're using child labor.
Well, there you go. There's your first ending. I almost think, Lee, we need to either go about it the other way, start with this book.
Okay.
And intermingle the Christmas story and see how that goes.
Let's try that here. So
what do you think?
That's the great thing about these books is we can always give this another try. So let's go back to...
We found an ending. We were getting ready for Christmas, took a bump on the head,
Yes.
met some British
Yes.
kids, and all of a sudden, we've helped out a homeless boy.
I know. Can't get better than that. Ricky wants more shenanigans. Yes, I agree. That's where we're going to go back, Ricky. We're going to try this again. So let's start. Do you want me to start this one, Eddie? And then.
Yeah, go ahead and you start this one, and then I'll once we hop back to Christmas, I'll read Christmas.
Okay, so I'll start in the Ghost Hunter. Ever since he solved the Harlow Thrombe, let me get this better view here. Oh man, still okay. So we got this picture. We're just leaning back in our office chair, reading a magazine or something, and so we've checked this out, Eddie. We've got a collared shirt, so like a suit shirt with our sweater over it, with our sleeves pulled up. I bet tucked in though, and penny loafers.
Tucked in. Oh, he's wearing penny loafers. You can see his checkered socks.
Yes, Argyle.
All the 80s points goes to this kid.
Oh man! Then on our shelf, we've got an apple with a bite eaten out of it, and we've got our private detective certificate on the wall. Man, that's awesome.
We're great.
Yes, and we know it.
Nothing weird. Nothing weird about us at all.
No. All right. Ever since you solved the Harlow Thrombe murder case, your services as a private detective have been much in demand. Harlow Thrombe is one of the richest men in town, and it was a surprise when he called you to help find out who was plotting against his life. Unfortunately, Thrombe was murdered the very night you began your investigation. His widow, Jane Thrombe, was a prime suspect, but you proved her innocent. And afterwards, she continued to live in the huge Victorian house until she died of a heart attack a few months ago. You've enjoyed being a private detective, but lately you've been thinking about going into a new field. In fact, you've decided to become a ghost hunter. What got you interested was a magazine article on the subject. The author said that in most cases, a haunted house was once the scene of a murder. This fact tied in with some news you heard recently after Jane Thrombe died a few months ago. A man named Howard Grimstone bought the Thrombe place. Neighbors say that strange
Grimstone.
Yeah, Grimstone.
What kind of stone is it, Lee?
Grim. It's grim.
It's my favorite.
Neighbors say that strange things have been going on there. Lights on late at night, guard dogs patrolling the grounds, weird sounds coming from the house. The more you think about it, the more likely it seems that the ghost of Harlow Thrombe comes to haunt the house where Thrombe was murdered. Page 2. Another thing in the article that caught your eye, the article said that Professor Zyback, who is supposed to be one of the world's leading authorities on ghosts, works at the Institute for Occult Studies, the IOS. Huh. There you go. Only a few miles from where you live. The author did not seem to have a high opinion of Dr. Zyback, however. In fact, he said this: although Zyback has interviewed hundreds of people who claim to have seen ghosts, he admits he's never seen a ghost himself. How can he be so sure, then, that ghosts really exist? Doesn't he know that people have a way of seeing what they want to see or what they're afraid of seeing? Dr. Zyback's evidence, in quotes here, for the existence of ghosts seems no more convincing than all the so-called evidence for UFOs and ESP. You ask various people if they know anything about Dr. Zyback. A neighbor of yours, Mrs. Waleka, tells you that she knows Dr. Zyback for many years. I don't know whether his theories about ghosts are true or not, but I know this, she says, he's an honest man. You wonder whether it would be useful to see Dr. Zyback or not. If you decide to pay a call on Professor Zyback, turn to page 4. If you decide to start ghost hunting without delay, turn to page 11. So let us know in the chat, do we call Professor Zyback or do we start hunting ghosts right away? Let us know.
Ghost hunting, no delay.
There we go.
Fight them ghosts. I want some toast.
I want some toast. Ricky says, see the doctor.
Ooh.
Okay. So we got one vote for doctor. We'll wait another second here and see if we get another vote.
Once again, let people know what's happening here. We're doing a mashup episode between Home in Time for Christmas and Ghost
Hunter. So we'll switch. So, for example, this decision will take us back to Home in Time for Christmas. And then the next decision we get to in Home in Time for Christmas will take us back to Ghost Hunter. So we're seeing how well they mash together. We're getting the taters out and we're just mashing them up.
Listen, got your taters. Get her, Ray. Get her.
Get her. Oh, Ghostbusters reference. That was your idea? Yep. Grab that ghost. Oh, so split.
Split. Uh-oh, we got fighting music.
Yes. Eddie, break out the fighting music. Baby. Here we go.
All right. That's all for that.
We're gonna kiss it or fight it. That's what we're gonna fight. All right.
Fighting you.
So heads. So heads, we call the doctor. Tails, we ghost hunt.
There you go.
Tails. We're
ghost hunt.
All right. So that's page 11 in Just in Time for Christmas.
Just in Time for Christmas. Page 11. Okay. Here we go. It's an illustration. So I'll move to the next page. That's how we do this.
Yes.
It's nice of you to invite me to stay, you say. But I have to get home right away. Otherwise, my mom will call the police.
Ooh.
We don't understand how time travel works. Your mom's not born yet.
Exactly. Good point.
Nor is the police that she would call.
Good point.
Or the phone that, yeah, exactly. It's not happening at the same time, kid. Oh, dear, replies Aubrey. You're right, Daniel adds. We hadn't thought of that. These poor kids, they don't know how time travel works.
They don't.
He helps strap you back in. The time machine begins to click and whir. Begin countdown, Aubrey. Daniel, orders. 10, 9, Aubrey begins. Wait, tell us just one thing about the future, he pleads. Space invaders, you shout, just as a brilliant white light flashes, followed by a loud kaboom. You yelled out space invaders, bro.
Space invaders? That's the best.
You're gonna think there's aliens that are attacking us in the future.
Oh,
I wish.
Well, see, alien reference there almost.
I say it's the alien reference. We were trying to reference a video game called Space Invaders to British kids who don't know how electricity works.
It works. Yeah, I know. Should have said something good like, Sports Almanac, like Marty McFly.
Yeah, exactly. We cram cheese inside of pretzels now and call them combos.
Yeah, exactly.
We have chocolate cookies with vanilla frosting in the middle and call them Oreos. They're great.
They're great. Boom, off.
No.
And they stick each other. Oreos?
What? Oreos? Yeah.
Got Ricky.
Combos?
Buy Apple stock. There you
go. To buy Apple stock, turn to page 9.
Okay.
We're going back.
Back to page 9.
You shut your eyes tight for your trip through time. You're wondering when to open them when someone says, it didn't work. Get my reading glasses, kids. I'm getting old. You jerk your head up. Daniel, Aubrey, I'm still here. The time machine blew up, Daniel replied, coughing. His face is black from smoke. It took us 3 years to build, cries Aubrey. 3 years, you ask in disbelief. How will I ever get home now? Turn to page 41.
Oh, jumping way up.
I know, right? They're having us hop around.
41? Okay.
41. I'm almost there. I haven't any idea, Daniel says, coughing. It looks like you're stuck. Well, Daniel has no wherewithal. I guess you live here now. Wait, Aubrey says. What about Wozniak, the eighth wonder of the world? Who, you ask? Wozniak, the eighth wonder, replies Daniel, is one of the best magicians alive. It's a stroke of genius on Aubrey's part. Come on. Turn to page 18. This was the one that had like 4 endings and we had to hop all over.
Yeah.
That
Funny
was
how
18, correct?
Apple stock and we have almost a Wozniak.
A Wozniak, exactly.
Oh.
Half hour later, the three of you are seated in Wozniak's study. Wozniak has rosy cheeks, a round belly, and a bushy white beard.
I wonder.
Might he be Satan? I mean Santa. Sorry.
Satine.
Satine.
Aubrey, stop making us wait.
I know, right? In fact, if it weren't for his green robe covered with stars, he would look just like Santa Claus. Daniel explains your problem to the magician, who listens carefully, stroking his beard. Finally, Wozniak turns to you. You have 2 choices, my friend. Both are dangerous. I can cast a sleeping spell. It will put you to sleep from now until you catch up with your own time. I would pick that one. I'm 46 and exhausted all the time.
A nice long nap.
A nice long nap till I catch up to my own time. I'll be dead, dude. He'll be dead. What? The risk is that you may wake up a few years early or a few years late. I can also feed you a mix of several magic powders. This will I know this is when like the drugs start getting introduced again. Yeah. This will transport you immediately to the future, but there's a chance you will rematerialize in a different form.
Oh.
If you decide on the sleeping spell, turn to page 22. If you decide to take Wozniak's magic powders, turn to page 25.
Oh man, taking drugs from strange men we don't know. That doesn't sound like.
I know.
Yeah.
Do I take a mix of magical powder?
Did I mention I own a bike shop?
Or wake up 30-year-old in 1995 missing 15 years of Christmases.
Yeah. All right. So we got magic powder from Ricky. So she says, take the magic powders. That's page 25. And magic powder from Jesse. All right. It's unanimous.
They agreed.
So page 25. Do you want to keep in this one or do we want to go over to Ghost Hunter?
We got to go to Ghost Hunter, man. We can't be doing this. This ends the story on this book. We got to magic powders lands you on page 25 of the Ghost Hunter.
Let's see what we got on page 25 here. There's a picture of a guy with a what was that, pencil mustache?
I love it.
Oh man. But notice he's got stirrups, or not stirrups, suspenders, and his shirt is tucked in. All right. So we'll go to the next page though. So we'll go to page 26. Sylvia leans towards you. Aunt Jane provided in her will that the house and furniture be sold and proceeds given to charity. All her money and jewels were to be left to me. But before she died, she put her money into diamonds. She even told me how many. There were 37. One of them was the famous cartoon star, one of the largest diamonds in the world. She hid them in a red leather box, and I'm the only one who knows it. The house has been sold, but I'm sure the diamonds are still in it. In fact, I think I know exactly where they are. Aunt Jane once showed me her secret hiding place behind the wood panel in the right rear corner of the cedar closet in the attic. What do you know about Howard Grimstone, the new owner? Not much, Sylvia replies with a shrug, but there's a lot of rumors about him. I've heard he's a big-time drug dealer. There's also a
magic powders.
Magic powders.
Big-time magic powders dealer.
Oh, yes. See? They connect. I'm telling you. There's also a rumor that he's in the arms smuggling business and that he makes bombs for terrorists. Not the kind of man you could ask to help you look for your diamonds, I guess. By now, you can see that this is going to be a tricky case, and it will delay your new career as a ghost hunter. Besides, you're not really sure you can help. If you tell Sylvia you don't think you can help, turn to page 8. If you tell her you'll think about it, turn to page 34. So do we tell Sylvia we don't think we can help her, or do you tell her we're going to go home and think about it? Let us know in the chat. All right. I love the connection, like you said. Powders,
Yep.
drugs, huh?
Huh. I
Hmm.
think these stories do have some connective tissue.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well, Ricky, it's sure as the day is long in Choose Your Own Adventure book. If we have a friend, one of them's gonna get killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh,
We're not a good person. We tend to stab people in the back.
I see
Oh,
your
Ricky
back
has
is
help.
exposed to me. Ha 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 ha.
That's a good knife storage device.
Ooh, we're gonna fit
We're gonna
about
put
7 or 8 knives in there.
Yeah. All right. So page 8, Eddie, back in Christmas land.
8 it is. Turn too
All right.
fast. Let's see here.
Our mishmash.
8 is an illustration, so I'm going to go to page 9.
Okay.
You shut your eyes tight for your trip through time. You're wondering when to open them when someone says, "It didn't work." You jerk your head up. "Daniel, Aubrey, I'm still here." The time machine blew up. Daniel replies, coughing. His face is black from smoke. "It took us 3 years to build," cries Aubrey. 3 years, you ask in disbelief. "How will I ever get home now?" We've already done this.
Yes.
We're going to be on the Wozniak. See, this is how the mashup can bite you in the booty a little bit.
Yeah. You get some repeat here sometimes. So
I
going back to
almost think we give our listeners a complete story and keep on going with Wozniak here.
All right.
To find a Ricky is like, we did travel back
in time.
I know.
Yeah. Told you.
So, what say we just go straight to Wozniak?
Yeah, which is page 18, I think.
Yeah, there we go. So we'll go back to sleeping spell and magic powders. And we'll pick the magic powders since people wanted powder.
Yes, 25.
Remember that. 25. Okay. I'll take the magic drugs, powders, you announce. Wozniak opens a door behind the bookcase behind him. It's his laboratory.
The laboratory.
The walls are covered with jars of strange liquids and powders. He whips up a bright green mixture and hands it to you in a tiny glass cup. "Swallow it in one gulp," he orders. "Here goes," you say, trying to sound brave. The powders taste horrible. You cough, sputter, and disappear.
Ooh.
Turn to page 29. When you open your eyes, you're lying on the living room floor. Above you is the Christmas tree, which seems enormous. "Hooray!" you yell, but no sound comes out. You try to move and can't. A huge hand suddenly reaches down to pick you up. "Where'd we get this red star, Mom?" you hear your sister ask. You know why it's red, right? Because it's made from our bones.
Bones. Yes.
"I don't know, sweetheart," your mother yells from the kitchen. "Allison, Mom," you cry, "it's me." But they don't seem to notice or hear you. Wozniak powders didn't work. You've rematerialized as a Christmas tree ornament. "I think I'll put the star right here," says Allison, hanging you on a branch. The end.
Oh, I remember this one. Yes. We became a Christmas ornament.
We got transmogrified into a Christmas ornament with sentience and feeling, but no voice. We're trapped in a living hell. This is no scary ghost stories.
We're stuck in a storage box for 6 months, 10 months out of the year.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting brought out on Thanksgiving if you're lucky. I almost want to see what happens if we did the years thing. No, because then I remember. We'll just try it.
Okay. This is the just home in time for Christmas. 2 blue ticks is asking what it is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Jesse. You're a Christmas ornament, but never a shark.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
We'll go back to the let's see here. We'll take the sleeping spell. What do you think?
Yes, let's see what page was that? That
So I'll
was
read this. I'll read this to the people who just joined us here. Breaking a little format tonight, but our mashup kind of became a too mashy.
yeah, a little too mashy.
Yeah.
Just say no to drug powder.
Just don't do the powders, kids. So quick synopsis. We are in the 1987s. We hit our head because that has to happen in every book. And
Yes.
upon hitting our head, woke up in Victorian era London with two precocious children who created a time machine without the power of electricity. I can only imagine it's powered by anger.
Anger and rage.
And so now we are stuck in Victorian England with a broken time machine, now seeking out the help of a wizard who is coincidentally named Wozniak, one letter away from Wozniak, who was a pretty prominent figure in the 80s. And Wozniak now is going to be our one true hope at getting back home to 1987 and Christmas. Here we go. A half hour later, the three of you are seated in Wozniak's study. Wozniak has rosy cheeks, a round belly, and a bushy white beard. In fact, if it weren't for his green robe covered with stars, he would look just like Santa Claus. Daniel explains your problem to the magician, who listens carefully, stroking his beard. Finally, Wozniak turns to you. You have two choices, my friend. Both are dangerous. Fight me in hand-to-hand combat. I'm queuing up the music.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's us fist fighting Santa. We're fist fighting Santa for our way back.
Yeah.
Two choices.
You know he's legit if he's stroking his beard. Exactly.
One way that I can cast a sleeping spell. It will put you to sleep from now until you catch up with your own time. The sleeping spell is a right hook.
That's right.
The risk is that you may wake up a few years early or a few years late. I can also feed you a mix of several magic powders. This will transport you immediately to the future, but there's a chance you will rematerialize in a different form. He didn't lie.
He didn't lie. No, he told us the truth.
So since we chose the powders and showed up as a sentient hellscape of an ornament, we're going to go ahead and go to the sleeping spell, page 22, and see what happens here.
Want me to read that one?
Yeah, go for it, sir.
I think I'll go with the sleeping spell, you tell Wozniak. He reaches in the folds of his green gown and pulls out a milky white stone. It's tied to a silk cord. Watch the stone, he tells you, swinging it back and forth in front of your eyes. At first, you feel a gentle tingle in the back of your head. The tingle travels down your hands and your feet, spreads to your legs, or spreads to your eyes, and soon you can't keep them open. You feel sleepier and sleepier. Finally, you feel nothing.
Ooh, like me right now. I'm dead inside.
Dead inside.
I'm kidding. Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody, by the way.
Yes. Page 31. When you open your eyes, it's snowing. You look around. You're on your Kravitz front lawn, 3 blocks on the Kravitz front lawn, 3 blocks from your home. Thwack. Something hits you right in the head. Again, another head trauma.
More head trauma.
More head trauma. You look down. It's a newspaper. Your hands shake as you open it and look at the date. Yippee. It says December 24th. You made it home in time for Christmas after all. The end.
Yes.
We did it.
And we arrived soon enough to not have to hit our heads. We could be like, oh, not hitting my head this time.
Not going to do it again. Yeah, magic powder was a better trip. I mean, yeah, you don't get more wackier than turning into a Christmas ornament.
So. I mean, it's all fun and games until like literally, yeah, you're like You're like, you just show up and you're like,
Help.
did I hear something? It's like that reminds me of like an old creep show, like you'll always be home for Christmas when you're an ornament
Yeah,
on the
you'll never be
tree.
late. Yeah, you'll never be late for Christmas. You'll always
Which,
be.
by the way, not in my house, man. I can think maybe it's been a while. Like, what is the average lifespan, Lee, in your household for any Christmas ornament? Do you have
Oh
any 20-year-old ornaments?
no. I mean, we have some paper ones made by the kids, that they make.
Oh yeah, that are toe
Those,
up.
but if they're breakable, yeah, you're lucky
Oh
to
yeah.
get a couple of years out of them at best.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
At
I think there's one ornament. I think I take that back. I have an ornament straight from 1984. I'm gonna go get it. I'll be right back. My tree's right here.
Yeah, let's see this 30. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Ricky, I have a 30-plus-year-old ornament. Yeah, we have a few, but I can't tell you how many ornaments we've had to throw away when we get them out of storage and they're just crushed. So for the most part, most of them don't seem to last very long. But yeah, there are a handful of them. But even some of the ones we do have that are older are chipped or cracked or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, our sister drops us on the way back. Oh, whoops.
Right?
We're done for.
This sucker.
The Mickey Mouse. Oh,
A
that's
Mickey
awesome.
Mouse ornament. Yeah, it's so old. Like the red has like flaked off of some of his suit.
Oh, you're right.
And it's supposed to be clear, but it's kind of gotten a little yellowed with age.
Is that
But
acrylic?
yeah, it's like just a clear plastic, kind of like one of those sun catchers almost.
Okay.
But it literally is. Yeah, 1984 Walt Disney Studios. That is the oldest ornament I own.
Ricky says I'm older than that ornament.
Ricky, so are we.
Yeah, you're not alone. Yeah, Jesse made a funny point. Just think if the sister drops the ornament on the way back, or
Yeah. Oop. Great.
Oh,
Exactly. Just he breaks his old ornament.
yeah, and then she tries to glue him back together.
Yeah, exactly. But according to that story, this ornament is probably me from a different timeline, trapped
Oh,
inside of
yeah.
my living hell.
That's Eddie. Yeah, trapped in another. He took the powder. I took the powder.
Thank you for taking the powder. I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe we'll put it out to the audience of people watching. Do we want to do one more round through the Christmas book, or do we want to take a stab at the ghost hunter book from the very beginning, and just not hop off of it?
Yeah, let us know in the chat real quick. Ghost Hunter or
We got about a solid 20 left in the show here, I'd say.
Yep, we can do about another 20 minutes or so.
I mean, if everybody had that ornament, I would love to see it. Send pictures of your old ornament. Put them in the chat.
Yeah,
Love to see them.
Send us. You can go on social medias and post your oldest ornament picture that you have. Oh, Ricky says Ghost Hunter. So we have a vote for Ghost Hunter. Well, unless we get a different vote, we'll do Ghost Hunter. And let's not do the beginning of it because we already have the introduction, I think. Jesse, Addict Kid Hunter. Yes.
Kid Hunter. Kid Hunter.
Kid hunting.
The ultimate game.
So we'll go to page 2 here. Here's where we decided to pay a call to Professor Zyback or start ghost hunting right away. Let's go to Professor Zyback then and start there.
What page is that?
Page 4. Within the hour, you knock on the door of Professor Zyback's office at the Institute. A moment later, you are greeted by a tall, slim man wearing a tweed vest and polka dot bow tie. He ushers you into the office, which is made even smaller by huge stacks of books piled up against the wall. Sit down and make yourself comfortable. The professor taps the ashes out of his pipe and stuffs in some tobacco, but evidently deciding you might not want to sit in a room full of smoke, he lays down the pipe on his already cluttered desk. What can I do for you? I'm sorry, but I have to go to a meeting and I only have a few minutes. Well, you say, clearing your throat, I read that you've done a lot of research on ghosts. I thought maybe you could give me a few tips. Oh, this is that picture. So you got this guy that just looks totally annoyed that this kid is here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And you're like, say, I'm an expert myself. I know everything about finding ghosts and being amazing.
In fact,
And
I'm
you have
probably seeing
weird
this
haircut.
too. Yeah, and you have a weird haircut. All right. Tips? The professor frowns. Well, it's a very complicated subject, not one that boils down to a few tips. That being said, I'll tell you this. Number one, ghosts exist, but they normally don't exist in the way in which we are aware of their existence. So most of the time, it doesn't matter whether they exist or not. I don't quite follow, you start to say, but the professor interrupts you with an upraised finger. I'm
Ooh,
not surprised you can't follow. It's a
thank you.
very complicated, as I say, but what I say next, you can follow. Number two, ghosts don't hurt people. You are more likely to be hurt if you run from a ghost than if you go toward it. The professor takes a gold watch out of his pocket and looks at it. Whoops, I'm very late. As he gets to his feet and grabs his jacket from the coat stand, he waves his pipe at you. Goodbye. I wish you luck. Good day. Before you can even thank the professor, he's out the door. You glance around the cluttered little office a moment and then head for home, thinking about what he said. 11. You're sitting at your desk thinking how you might begin your work as a ghost hunter when the phone rings. It's your old friend, Jenny Mudge. That quite that's quite a coincidence, Jenny, who is also a private detective. She helped you solve the Harlow Thrombey murder case. How are things, you ask? Jenny replies in her usual lively voice. Very fine. I've stopped being a private detective and decided to become a ghost hunter. That's amazing, you say. Great minds think alike. I was just about to see if I can find out whether Harlow Thrombey's ghost has returned to haunt his old house. Could be, Jenny replies, but I've learned of a house that, by all reports, is definitely haunted. It's just a little way out of town, the Gray Mansion. It's been empty for a long time. The place is so haunted, weird, cursed, whatever you want to call it, that no one will go near it. I called you to see if you'd like to go out there with me this Saturday. If you decide to join Jenny, turn to page 14. If you decide to hunt for Harlow Thrombey's ghost instead, turn to page 18. All right. So let us know in the chat.
Haunted first date.
Yeah, haunted first date. Yes. Do we join Jenny or do we go hunt on our own? Let us know in the chat. Yeah. Tip one, go home, kid. You bother me. Exactly. That guy couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah.
But I liked how he just left us in his office. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Ricky is summing up her opinion of what we feel about our character.
Pretentious. Forget Jenny. Okay. So Jesse says hunt on your own. Jenny says forget Jenny, or Ricky says forget Jenny. So yeah. All right.
Here we go. It's unanimous.
18.
18 it is. Here I go.
Because we're better anyway. We don't need her help.
Oops, sorry. You decide, little rocking boat there for you guys.
Yeah.
You decide, first of all, to pay a call on Howard Grimstone, the new owner of the Thrombey house. You're sitting Thrombey. Isn't that pretty close to Harlow Throm?
Yeah, it is Harlow Thrombey. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, what the heck are they doing here?
These are connected. Yep.
You're sitting at your desk thinking about what to ask him when a woman appears at your front door. I'm Sylvia Ruston, Jane Thrombey's niece, she says. May I come in? Of course. You take a look at your visitor as you usher her into your office. She is a rather plump, round-faced woman. Damn! 80s.
Harsh
1980s. That is the
Yes.
first thing we did in the 80s, man. It's brutal and mean.
Yes, we are.
In her 40s, you guess. Her skin is so fair you imagine she must sunburn very easily. Her yellowish hair is curly. He looks as if she was has a basically happy nature, but right now she seems tense and anxious. You had heard that Jane Thromby had left most of her money to Sylvia, and you're curious to know what brought her to see you. Sit down. What seems to be the problem? You motion her toward the old couch next to your desk. I'm penniless, and I should be rich. Me too, Sylvia.
Don't we all?
Me too.
Join us.
You search Sylvia's eyes for a clue to her character. What do you mean? I heard you inherited most of your Aunt Jane's wealth, everything except the house. Just 40-year-olds aren't real. Nice try, Sylvia. I know a ghost when I see one. 40-year-olds aren't real.
Exactly. They don't
Turn to
exist.
page 26.
All right. Page 26.
There we go. Sylvia leans toward you. Aunt Jane provided in her will that the house and furniture be sold and the proceeds given to charity. All her money and jewels were left to me. But before she died, she put her money into diamonds. She even told me how many. There were 37. One of them was the famous uh, Khartoum star, one of the largest diamonds in the world. She hid them in a red leather box, and I'm the only one who knows it. The house has been sold, but I'm sure the diamonds are still in it. In fact, I think I know exactly where they are. Aunt Jane once showed me her secret hiding place behind a wood panel in the right rear corner of the cedar closet in the attic. What do you know about Howard Grimstone, the new owner? Not much, Sylvia replies with a shrug, but there's a lot more rumors about him. I've heard he's a big drug dealer in magical powders.
Yeah. Yes.
There's also a rumor that he's in the arms smuggling business and that he makes bombs for terrorists. Wow, we would just smear campaign on this guy.
No kidding.
Not the kind of man you could ask to help you look for diamonds, I guess. By now, you can see that this is going to be a tricky case, but it will delay your new career as a ghost hunter. Besides, you're not really sure you can help. If you tell Sylvia you don't think you can help her, turn to page 8. If you tell her you'll think about it, turn to page 34.
Hey Eddie, here's a good dad joke. He's arms smuggler. He's got left ones, he's got right ones, he's got big ones, he's got small ones, just all sorts of arms. Take your pick.
Exactly. Exactly. He's an arms dealer.
Yes.
It's all these prosthetic arms.
Yeah. It was the one-armed man. All right. So think about it or help. Looks like we got
Or tell her we don't think we can help.
Oh, don't think we can help. Okay. All right.
We got help. We have some votes for help. We have one vote for think about it. I think, barring another vote here, I think. Oh, there we go. Oh, help. Okay, so I think the help's got it.
I think the help. I don't think you can help. So that's page 8.
Oh wait. Right? Oh man. We have Christina looking at us at 4 a.m. Christina, 4 a.m.
Wow,
man.
Christina.
Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.
I think we need
to be a true fan.
I think we gotta give Christina at least to do a Proof Rock and Schmidt real quick to thank her for joining us this early in the morning.
Oh, Christina says think about it. So we're tied.
We're tied, and with that we have to do. If we're tied, hold on. I'll let you cue up the. Here we go. Tied means we got to fight this sucker out. Okay, I digress.
Okay, so we're gonna have to flip for it. So Heads. Whoops, I got the wrong one here. Let's see. Heads. We don't think we can help Sylvia. Tails.
Hey,
Think
we'll think about it.
we'll think about it. Here we go. Think about it. Huh. All right. So page
All right.
34.
I'll think about it. That's you, sir.
At it. All right. That would be me. Here we go. Whoops. After Sylvia Rustin leaves, you sit at your desk wondering how you can possibly help her. If you take the case, you'll hardly be able to call up Grimstone and ask if you can search the closet in his attic. If you were to tell him what you're looking for, the diamonds would surely vanish by the time you got there. You tilt back, feet on your desk, eyes closed. A loud knocking interrupts your thoughts. Opening the door, you find a rather short, stocky man. His oily gray hair is slicked back over his head. A close shaven mustache looks like a line of grease paint over his thin, almost non existent upper lip. I'm
What
Howard
kind of gray
Grimstone.
hair did he have again?
Let's see. Oily graying hair.
It's the worst kind.
Yes. You can light it on fire.
Yeah, you can get your frying pan ready.
Yeah, or you can fix squeaky doors. You take your pick.
Ooh, there you go. Rub some of that gray hair on that door hinge.
It's probably Brill Cream if it's the 80s.
A little dab will do you.
Yeah. I've heard you're a private detective and I need your help. You try to hide your astonishment. Well, please come in. You motion to the same old couch Sylvia Rustin so recently vacated. What's your problem? Turn to page 27. It's the strangest thing, Grimstone begins. In what strikes you as a rather phony tone of voice, I recently bought a house owned by Jane Thrombe, who died a few months ago. It's a great house, suits my needs in every way, but it has one problem. Grimstone leans forward as if to add emphasis to his statement. And what's the problem? Ghosts. The place is haunted. Strange wailing sounds and lights. My employees and I can't get a good night's sleep. That's bad enough. But the other things have been happening. Last night, the crystal chandelier began swaying wildly. Then some of the crystals crashed onto the dining room table. One of my men was cut by flying glass. I've never believed in ghosts before, but I'm telling you, there's one in that house. What do you want me to do? Grimstone leans forward, his thin lips stretching into some sort of smile. I need someone to find that ghost and get rid of it. I need a ghost hunter. I think I'll think about it and let you know in the morning, you say. As he leaves, Grimstone turns. I'll make it worth your while. Turn to page 20.
We do a lot of thinking about it. I'll
We do
think
think a
about
lot.
it.
We're very introspective.
Yeah.
This case is getting very interesting. Whom should you work for? Sylvia Rustin or Howard Grimstone? It wouldn't seem right to work for both of them without telling them what you're doing. Yet that doesn't make sense. You'd be more inclined to work for Grimstone. You'd be more inclined to work for Grimstone. You want to be a ghost hunter. On the other hand, you don't like the idea of working for a criminal. Still, Grimstone isn't asking you to do anything illegal, so why not take the case? You feel some loyalty to Sylvia Rustin because she came to you first. You can't just let your thoughts go around in circles like this. You've got to make a decision. All right, here we go. If you decide to Sylvia Rustin, turn to page 28. If you decide to work for Howard Grimstone, turn to page 70. So let us know in the chat, Howard Grimstone or Sylvia Rustin. Let us know in the chat.
And I'm torn.
I know. What do we do? Let us know.
I feel like ghosts are kind of like Bigfoot, right? If you go looking for them, you may not find them.
Loyalty doesn't pay the mortgage, according to Ricky Grimstone.
And Jesse doesn't negotiate with ghosts.
Oh, that's right. We said that Sylvia was pale and 40 years old.
Yeah, but he also thinks Howard Grimstone is a ghost. So
That's true.
what he wants to do.
Christina says Sylvia. So
you could be split here.
So we have one vote for Sylvia, one vote for Grimstone, another vote for Grimstone, because Jesse says I don't negotiate with ghosts. I assume that means Not Sylvia?
He called them both ghosts, so I don't know
Oh,
what Jesse wants to do. I'd do both. I'd help them both. I'd be
yeah.
like, I'm getting paid twice.
Oh, Gerald hopped in. One for Grimstone.
Two
So,
Grimstones and one Sylvia.
okay. That's Grimstone. We're going to go work for an arms dealer.
All right. Page 70. I think
left
as a little treat for anyone here who hasn't seen it yet, we should, upon saying goodnight, we should give them a little taste of the Proof Rock and Schmidt.
Rock and Schmidt. Okay. That'll be our out. All right. Here we go. 70.
Here we are. I'm getting there. My phone's trying to keep up. Almost there. There. When you call Grimstone to tell him you're taking the case, he asks you to stop over that evening. You set out for his house right after dinner with your miniature high-intensity flashlight tucked into your pocket. Somehow you think you may need it. Well, first of all, this is a choose-your-own-adventure book, my friend.
Of course.
Pocket flashlight. You need a
That's
knife.
the minimum.
Minimum.
I mean, I'm shocked we don't have more.
Walking up to the great oak door of the huge Victorian house, you think back to the first time you came here, the night of Harlow Thrombay's murder. Things have changed a lot since then. A high wrought iron fence now surrounds the property. Thick cedar hedges have been planted so that it's not possible to see any of the ground floor windows from the street. The place resembles a fortress more than a gentleman's estate. As you approach the house, you hear fierce barking. Startled, you turn. For the first time, you notice the large dog pen attached to one side of the house. Two huge mastiffs are raging at you from the other side of a chain link fence. Does that mean they're mad or are they dancing like crazy?
Yeah, they're dancing. Yes, that's what they're
That's
doing.
what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You shudder to think what would happen if they got out. The front door opens before you reach it. A hulking, square-shouldered man appears. His stiff, bristly hair looks like steel wool. A grotesque smile is fixed on his face. He's a ghost. 74.
He's a ghost.
I hope those dogs can't get out, you say. The man laughs. You don't like our pets? Don't worry, their gate won't open unless we push a button inside the house. That's nice to know, you reply, not offering to shake hands. Is Mr. Grimstone home? Come in, my young friend. Don't be put off by Kenny. He has no manners, Grimstone calls from the foyer. Isn't that bad manners to say someone has no manners?
Someone has no manners.
You walk past Steel Wool Kenny into the great house. It has a much more somber look than you remember. The walls have been covered with dark chestnut paneling. The floors, which used to be polished and shining, are covered with a dark brown stain. It's probably blood.
Yes, most likely.
Grimstone shows you into the library. He looks you up and down as if he were measuring you for new clothes. The ghost starts making noises every night at about 8 o'clock. Well, that's a reasonable time. I mean, it's not so late, not waking anybody up.
Late. Yeah, it's not too early, not too late. Yeah.
Right? It's reasonable prime time. It's almost 8 now. I'm going to have to leave you alone for a while. I have to discuss business with my associates in the dining room. Grimstone gives you a funny look like this.
He sticks his tongue out at you.
Do you want to wait here until the noise begins, or do you want to explore the house? If you decide to wait in the library, turn to page 46. If you decide to explore the house, turn to page 106.
So Ricky says, "Oh, definitely explore." She came right out of the gate. Explore that house.
Yeah, they had some magic powder.
I know. They had some magic powder. That's what happened.
They traded intelligent chips for rave dogs.
I noticed that. So on House of Danger, it was intelligent chimps. Now it's dogs, mastiffs.
I know, right?
James says explore. 8 p.m. is business time. So, all right. So I'm thinking
explore. We got to explore, man. Go for it. 106.
Go to 106 and explore this paneling. That's so 80s too, paneling.
Right?
Just as soon get started exploring the house, you say. That's perfectly fine, Grimstone replies, pleasantly, too pleasantly. You can go anywhere. We have no secrets here. As the two of you walk through the downstairs hall, he motions to the dining room where Kinney and three other men are seated at the dining room table. Excuse me, I have some business to conduct with these gentlemen. He enters the dining room, closing the door behind him. You stand in the hallway a moment, thinking everything about Grimstone, his thuggish lackey, the high iron fence outside, the huge guard dogs, all confirm Sylvia's opinion of him as a professional criminal. Yet, he's given you the run of the house to look for ghosts. It's odd. You'd like to find evidence of ghosts, but to tell the truth, you're even more curious to find out whether Jane Thromby's diamonds are hidden in the attic cedar closet. This may be your only chance while no one is watching. If you decide to directly go to the attic and search the cedar closet, turn to page 66. If you decide to explore the house room by room, working your way up to the attic, turn to page 92. All right. So do we search the house room by room or do we go straight to the attic? Let us know.
I'd be like,
chat.
I couldn't say what I want as an impartial host, so we'll just.
We got a vote from Ricky. I guess he wants what Sylvia knows. Go room by room. Okay. So we got a vote for room by room. Yeah. Pleasantly. Almost too pleasantly. Pleasantly, like pleasant ghost, like Casper, the friendly ghost. I'm on to you, Grimstone.
Know what
Jesse
you're up to.
So we're tied. We got one for room by room. Oh, no, Gerald says room by room as well. Okay. So page 92. Most likely here, unless we get a last second vote. And
let's see if Christina hops in here with a vote.
Otherwise, we're going room by room. We'll see what we can
give her
find.
another couple seconds here and see what we get here.
Yeah. Just
room by room. 92.
Pleasant. Yeah. Almost too pleasantly.
Almost too.
So let us know in the chat if you just joined us.
Oh, we got room by room.
Oh, we did, Christina. Okay.
Here we go. Here we go. You begin your room by room search by returning to the library. There you tap the walls, you check a closet. Nothing unusual. It seems unlikely you'll find any clues before even hearing or seeing any ghosts. You leave the library and walk down a long, dark hallway that leads to a swinging door. Swinging? Again?
Again? We need our swing counter.
I know, right? Passing through, you find yourself in a pantry lined with cabinets and sinks. You push through another swinging door. What the heck? And find yourself in the huge. That's too much swinging in this book. In the huge kitchen, face to face with a young woman dressed in a simple white dress and apron. She jumps back, startled. It's all right, you say. I'm a private detective hired by Mr. Grimstone. I have permission to check through the house. Oh, she replies. I'm Myra, the cook. Why are you checking the house? I'm looking for ghosts. I guess we should hear them pretty soon. It's almost 8. Ghosts? The young woman looks genuinely surprised. I haven't seen or heard any ghosts, and I've been living here for almost a month. Thinking fast, you realize what has been in the back of your mind all along. There was something fishy about Grimstone's asking you to look for ghosts. It's as if he's just invented this to get you over to his house and let you loose in it. But why? Myra steps closer. You'd better leave this place. You're only asking for trouble working for Mr. Grimstone. What about you? You're working for him. In a hushed voice, she says, I needed a job, and he pays well, but I must leave this place too. Mr. Grimstone wants you in the library. It's Kenny standing in the doorway. Be right there. You pull out a notepad, scribble down your name, address, and phone number on a slip of paper, and hand it to Myra. Call me as soon as you get a chance, you whisper. By this time, Kenny is walking toward you. You stride briskly past him, back to the library. He follows close behind. In the library, Grimstone wastes no time. I've decided you don't have it as a ghost hunter. You've been here a full 7 minutes. He says,
I know.
now I have other things to do. Kenny will show you out. You start to argue, but Kenny is hovering over you, looking as if he's itching to pick you up and toss you out the door. Better not stick around, Grimstone says. It's almost time to give the dogs their evening exercise. Turn to page 76.
Wow.
Right, this turned south quick.
That didn't take long.
It's the next day. You're back home and you're still mad at the way Grimstone treated you. You're trying to figure out what to do next when there's a knock at the door. It's Myra. She rushes inside and slumps exhausted on the couch. You shut the door behind her. Hello. You look as if things are going badly, you say. I am really upset, she replies shakily. Grimstone has gone out of town for 2 days. When he gets back, I'm going to ask for my pay and quit. I wanted to warn you never to go back there. Who's staying at the house now? Just Kenny and Grimstone's poker playing friends. They're all hitmen who wait around doing nothing until a job comes up. When Grimstone goes away, they sit up all night playing cards and getting drunk. It frightens me being alone there, but if I walk out now, I'll never get my pay back. A plan is forming in your mind. While Grimstone is away, and with Myra there, you might have a chance to sneak up to the attic and check out the cedar closet. Would you mind if I come visit you for a couple of hours tonight? Go to the next page. No, says Myra. Surprised, I'd be glad of your company. But you mustn't come to the front door. They'll never let you in. Come around the left side of the house at 8 o'clock and tap at the kitchen window. The dogs will be in their pen. Be very quiet so they won't hear you. After Myra leaves, you reconsider whether you dare undertake your scheme. You have no legal right to search Grimstone's house, and you'll have ferocious dogs, drunken hitmen, and crazy Kenny to deal with. If you go to the house that night, turn to page 57. If you decide to not risk it, turn to page 88.
Oh boy.
This is getting crazy.
Awesome. I know. We have ferocious dogs, drunken hitmen, and Kenny. Oh my.
You know? No intelligent chimps that we have to fight and potentially murder. None of that.
Don't trust Myra or crazy Kenny. So don't risk it. That's Ricky's vote. Christina says go to the house. All right. I like how we almost see you have no legal right to search the house. I mean, when is that? Breaking and entering has never been a problem for us.
Again, another hallmark of Choose Your Own Adventure. This is the minute we break in, it's like, check that off the list too.
Yeah.
We don't have head trauma yet, though.
Yeah, it's almost synonymous with aliens and ghosts and head trauma. Yes. Danger, Will Robinson. Okay, so Ricky says, don't risk it.
You crazy Kenny.
Crazy Kenny.
Yes.
Okay, so we have one vote for go to the house. We have one vote for not risk it.
Don't risk it.
So we're tied?
We're tied right now.
Okay. Get in there.
Now we're not tied.
All right. Page 57. We're going to do some breaking and entering because that's what we do. We're good at it.
Check that off the Choose Your Own Adventure list.
Exactly. Shortly after sunset that evening, you climb over the iron gate of the front of the Grimstone house and drop noiselessly to the ground. Fortunately, the wind is blowing toward you, away from the dog pen. They're not likely to get your scent. You carefully make your way around toward the kitchen. The blinds are drawn, but you can hear the muffled sound of laughter as you pass the dining room. Myra is waiting for you. She lets you in the back door. Follow me, she whispered. We mustn't let them hear us. You tiptoe behind her as she leads you up the back staircase to the second floor, then along a hallway, stopping in front of the closed door. Mr. Grimstone has always kept this door locked, she says, but this time he forgot. Look inside. Myra opens the door and flips on a light. You stare open mouthed at a row of open wooden crates filled with automatic rifles, machine guns, flares, and wired canisters that look very much like bombs. Turn to page 64. Myra flips the light off and closes the door. We'd better get back to the kitchen. I wouldn't want to get caught here. As she's talking, you're eyeing the stairs to the attic. You go on down, you tell her. I'll be along in a moment. Myra looks at you apprehensively, then quick and quiet as a cat. She disappears down the stairs. You find your way up 2 sets of stairs to the attic. As you shine your flashlight around, you notice a door. You pull it open. The scent of cedar is unmistakable. You've found the right closet. Your flashlight beam guides you to a panel in the right rear corner, wedging the blade of your pocket knife, there we go, into the crack between the panel and the next one next to it. You slowly pry off the unfastened panel. Your eyes rest on a small leather box. Unlatching the lid, you find a large collection of brilliant white diamonds. One of them is larger than you thought a diamond could be. You stare at the sparkling gems in amazement. Sylvia Rustin wasn't kidding. You're about to put the diamonds in your pockets, but then you stop a second to think. You don't have any right to take the diamonds. You can't be sure who owns them, and you've already taken quite a few risks. Your luck could run out at any time. All right, here we go. If you take the diamonds, turn to page 38. If you leave them and put back the wooden panel, turn to page 100. So do we take the diamonds or do we leave the diamonds? I like how we're trying to justify this all of a sudden. Like, wait a second. I've just committed a felony by breaking and entering. Maybe I shouldn't take the diamonds.
Right. I know, right? I love Ricky's thing though too. She's like, "Listen, they didn't pay their bills. they broke their contract. Take them.
Take them." All right.
Which, by the way, I agree.
I agree.
You're like, yeah.
But we have to have this moral dilemma so that we can have a choice here. So I understand, but it's just interesting. All right. So take it. It's page 38.
2 votes for take it. We got we'll give the viewers a couple more seconds and see where we land.
Yep, otherwise we're going to take it. Those diamonds belong to all the ghosts, not just these ghosts. Take the diamonds. Okay.
You slip the diamonds into your pockets, close the leather box, and replace the wood panel. You quietly shut the closet door and tiptoe down the attic stairs. You hope your bulging pockets aren't too noticeable. Hey, brag much? What's going on here? As you come down the back stairs, you hear laughter coming from the dining room. Grimstone's henchmen seem occupied with their drinking and poker playing. Myra is waiting, nervously sipping a cup of tea. I think I'd better leave now, you say. And I'm leaving the day after tomorrow, says Myra, as soon as Mr. Grimstone gets back. Are you going to tell the police about the weapons? Myra shakes her head. If I do, they'll investigate. He'll know I told, and he'll kill me. I know it. He warned me. And please don't you tell them either. Otherwise, you may be responsible for my death. Then why did you show me that room? This book got heavy, man. Myra's voice trembles as she answers, because if anything happens to me, I want someone to know. Suddenly you remember the diamonds in your pockets. Sooner or later, Kenny and his friends will come out of the dining room, if only for more beer from the refrigerator. I have to leave, Myra. Please keep in touch with me. Goodbye, Myra whispers. Careful to make no noise, you open the back door and pause to look and listen. All is quiet. The almost full moon is flickering through the branches of the big oak trees that decorate the yard. Cautiously, you step forward. You've got about 50 yards to go to make it to the front gate. One of the big dogs races across the lawn. You freeze. The dog disappears around the back of the house, probably chasing a squirrel or a stray cat, you think. From behind you, standing at the open door, Myra whispers, "They've let the dogs out for the night." "I know," you whisper back. Can I hide in the house overnight? It's all right with me, but I hope the men don't find you," says Myra. If you decide to hide in the house overnight, turn to page 44. If you decide to try to make it past the dogs, turn to page 98. This book is getting to be stressful.
Wow, it is. All right. Let us know in the chat. I mean, we're like tiptoeing around trying to get past Crazy Kenny, diamonds in our pockets, guard dogs.
And I agree. Oh, it's too much. And I agree with Ricky. Like taking the diamonds does not.
Yeah.
It is good in comparison to what's going on in that house.
Arm smuggling, yes. Grab a steak from the fridge and make a run for it.
That's what I'd say. Get a handful of pizza rolls and just be.
Yeah. Check it. Run for it. Those dogs are holograms. Okay. So we're going to we're running past the dogs, I think. We'll give it another second.
Go for it. Go for it, Lee. I'll give us. The dogs are holograms. Them dogs ain't real. I done seen it.
They just disappeared. All right, 98. Go. Kitchen door closes behind you with a soft click. You stand absolutely still to avoid rousing the dogs while you consider your escape route. The fence is made of shafts of wrought iron, except for at the front gate where you came in. The cross pieces aren't close enough to serve as rungs on a ladder. But earlier, you noticed that in the corner of the yard, out of sight of the dog pen, there's a tree with lower limbs close enough for you to reach. A branch of the tree extends a few feet over the fence. If you can reach that tree, you'll have made it, and your route will be out of sight of the dogs. Step by step, you move across the lawn, hardly daring to breathe. You're a little over halfway to the tree when your right foot brushes against a small rock. Though it makes only the slightest sound, it's enough to bring the dogs to their feet, barking furiously. You look around. They're coming at you. You break into a mad dash. The dogs are coming fast, closing in. You leap up, grab a branch just above your head, and swing your feet up onto it. You reach for a higher branch and start to pull yourself up. Turn to page 103. Oh, there's the illustration. So we're just barely getting over that. Oh, and the diamonds are dumping out of our pockets. Oh man, that's awesome. All right, turn to page 103. Dogs are there. One of them lunges, biting you on the left calf. Instinctively, you swing back, your right foot striking the dog with enough force in the chest to send it reeling over backwards. The other one leaps higher, closing its jaws on your right hip. You hear a ripping sound. It's your jeans. The pockets rip open, spilling out diamonds and loose change. Suddenly, sharp teeth rake your thigh. The other dog, you swing your right leg over a higher branch, diamonds spilling out of your other pocket. You're horizontal, hugging the branch, just out of reach of the leaping dogs. You manage to get a good grip on a higher branch, pulling yourself up to a standing position. You work your way to the big limb overhanging the fence, crawling along it, and drop safely to the other side of the fence. You can hear men yelling in the yard, but you're already running around the corner and through someone else's yard. Turn to page 3. So they're literally going to have us go 100 pages back. Man, this is intense.
What's happening?
I know. Dogs chasing after a 9-year-old. Come on. All right. Back home, you think about what's happened. You've managed to lose a small fortune in diamonds that belonged to an innocent woman who has asked for your help. Your only consoling thought is that they are lying in the grass. Maybe someday you can get them back. Lee, see how optimistic we are?
Always an upside.
Yes. If you call the police and tell them everything, turn to page 22. If you decide to think more about what to do, turn to page 7. They want us to more thinking.
More
stinking thinking.
What do they mean by think more?
I know, more thinking. So let us know in the chat. Do we call the police or do we do some more thinking? Ricky says think. Like we haven't done enough already, right? Think about it. Jesse says think about it. Okay. That's 2 votes for think about it. We'll give it another second here, Eddie, but otherwise, I want the ice. Yeah, exactly.
The ice.
Ricky says, I want the ice. All right, so that's probably page 7, Eddie. We'll give it another
I
second
got
here.
it. Probably go for it at this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
That evening, you're sitting at your desk, still wondering what to do. You just about decided to call the police and tell them everything you know, but you feel embarrassed about not having called already. You pace around restlessly, then sit on the couch thinking. You doze off. Your next sensation is that of a presence in the room, an unearthly presence.
Ooh.
Half opening your eyes, you confront a blurred outline as if the figure before you were fashioned out of fog condensed into a human shape. Uncertain as the image is, you recognize it, that of a red star that has a human soul inside of it.
Side of it,
I'm kidding.
yes.
That was a joke. And the shock of recognition freezes you. You grab the back of the couch and the armrest for support. Standing at the far side of the room is the ghost of Harlow Thrombey.
Oh man, now we're talking.
Turn to page 21. Why are you here? What do you want? You blurt out. Do not be afraid, the ghost replies. You will come to no harm, but you should not be surprised to be haunted by me. I hired you to save my life, and yet I was murdered that very night. I wish I could have saved you, but at least I found out who murdered you. Yes, the ghost acknowledges, but it is your fate to be haunted by me. Shouldn't you be haunting your old house, you ask? I have spent many hours there, says Thrombey. I do not like to see my house possessed by an evil man. Then why don't you do something about it, you demand? It is the way of ghosts not to punish evil people, but to let them bring about their own downfall. That gives people like you a chance to be a good force in the world. But I'm no match for Grimstone and his thugs, you say, unless, would you help me, ghost buddy team up?
Ooh, team up with the
If you are
ghost.
brave, if you're brave enough to try, then your courage should be rewarded. With these words, the ghost vanishes. Turn to page 17.
This is interesting.
Blinking, you turn on more lights, but there is no trace of any presence in the room. Were you dreaming? It seems so real. You walk outside and look at the waning moon. You feel certain that in some way you will be helped by Harlow Thrombey's ghost. You pick up the phone and call Sylvia Rustin. I think I can get your diamonds, but I'll have to turn them over to the police first. You know. You'll have to prove they belong to you and not to Grimstone. That will be no trouble, Sylvia replies. Thank you. I'd almost given up hope, and I promise you'll be well paid if you succeed. The next evening at 7, you walk up to the gate of Grimstone's house. There are now 4 attack dogs, and they are all loose on the grounds. The 2 who attacked you before remember your scent. They run up and down the inside of the fence, raging
Ooh.
and growling. You ring the buzzer at the gate. In a moment, Kenny appears. I can help Mr. Grimstone with his problem, you say. Kenny commands the dogs to return to their pen, locks them in, and respectfully ushers you down the front walk into the house. You wonder at his change of attitude. Perhaps Harlow Thrombey's ghost has been at work. Turn to page 24. Grimstone is waiting for you in the library. 2 of his henchmen are standing, arms folded, backs to the wall, watching like vultures perched in a tree. Okay, says Grimstone, where are the diamonds? What diamonds? You quickly reply. The men move closer, but Grimstone stops them with a wave of his hand. Don't play coy with me. We found out where they were hidden, and we know you got away with them. Do you think I would have let you back in this house if I didn't know you had the diamonds? I thought you wanted me to help catch ghosts. There are no ghosts, Grimstone sneered at you. I made up that story to get you over here. I even had ghost effects to entertain you. I thought you'd given away the location of the diamonds. You outsmarted me for a while, but now, at a glance from Grimstone, the thugs moved closer. One of them unsheathes a knife and holds the sharp edge to your throat. Where are the diamonds? Grimstone repeats, thrusting his face close to yours. If you tell where the diamonds are, turn to page 54. If you try to talk your way out of it, turn to page 107. This is getting real.
It is getting real. talk your way out of it, being the fast talking 9-year-old that you are. Ricky says lie.
Lie.
Oh
When
yeah.
in doubt.
Nice try, guys. I'm a ghost. I'll never tell. All right.
You can't make me ghost talk.
Yeah, exactly. Do we tell them where the diamonds are, or do we try to talk our way out of it, being the precocious little 9-year-old that we are? I'm
looking like it's.
I'm going to get a 9
yourself. Oh, there we go.
Lie. So we try to talk our way out of it. Okay. So that's page 107. Man, we are jumping all over the place here. But let's go see where the story leads us. See if we can get away from a criminal here, being the 9-year-old that we are. Okay. Look, wait a second. I'll talk. You plead. Getting our steps in. Exactly. I handed the diamonds over to the police. Kenny slaps you hard across the face. You go reeling across the room. Dude, just smacked a 9-year-old across the room. Holy cow. Paintbrushing us.
Paintbrush. Oh, no.
Don't give us that, Grimstone barks. If you had done all of that, the police would have let me know. After all, you stole the diamonds from my house. You cringe against the bookcase as Grimstone towers over you, his forefinger planted in your cheekbone, just below your right eye. Help, please, you cry out. The thugs laugh and Grimstone breaks into a broad smile. Help, he says, mocking you. This is a soundproof room, kid. No one can help you here. The moment Grimstone utters these words, the lights flicker violently and the house begins to shake. Boss, what's going on? Kid yells. Grimstone looks helplessly around. Herman, check the basement. Maybe something's wrong with the furnace. One of the thugs rushes out of the room. You work your way along the bookcase. Grimstone starts after you, but his way seems blocked by a whirling white shape that sends out a shower of silvery sparks. Grimstone, Kenny, and the other thugs retreat to the far wall. They huddle paralyzed with terror as the whirling white blur comes to arrest and turns into the ghost image of Harlow Thrombe. Turn to page 114. Dude. You stroll over to a desk and pick up the phone. Give me the police. This is an emergency. Harlow Thrombe's ghost whirls around the room like a tornado. Grimstone and his men cringe by the couch. You watch calmly. A few minutes later, the police burst into the house. At that same moment, the ghost disappears. Grimstone starts toward you, but the police officers are already in the room. They grab him, one by each arm. Shortly afterwards, Chief Ludhorn arrives. You show him the cache of weapons, and Grimstone's fate is sealed. He and his henchmen are carted off to jail. The dogs are sent to the pound, and the house is locked up. Early the next morning, you climb over the Grimstone gate. After an hour of searching, you manage to find all 37 of the lost diamonds. You turn them over to the police, and a few weeks later, a court rules that Sylvia Rustin is the rightful owner of the diamonds. You wonder whether you'll be able to charge Sylvia a fee for your services. After all, you never actually did agree to take the case. Sylvia Rustin, you find, is a very fair-minded woman. She gives you 2 of the diamonds as a reward. You take them to her jeweler and find out that the small one is worth $5,500. The larger one, being somewhat less pure and brilliant, is worth $4,500. Still, not bad. The end.
Hey.
Wow.
Listen, that was epic.
That was epic, man. We had to go
the longest.
That's awesome. We just had a poltergeist step between us and some thugs.
We teamed up with a ghost. We have to do another team up video or audio bit. We didn't die. Came close to becoming a ghost ourselves.
Yeah.
And with your help, we chose the adventure. And hey, we're not dead.
We ended up with the diamonds.
We ended up with $10,1987. Well, $1984. Which adjusted for inflation is like 30 grand in today's money.
Probably, man. If you're a 9-year-old today and someone hand you 30 grand, you'd be like, heck yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Not bad. I love at the end. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, we're okay.
That's
you know?
30 grand, kid.
We're just like, you know what? I'm actually worth more than this, but I'll take it.
Yeah. I like Christina's math. It's basically $1 million. It really is. If you
Yeah,
think
that's
about
true.
it.
That's true. Oh man, that was good.
That was really good. I want to. Well, I guess we'll end on Proof Rock and Schmidt here, but that was probably one of the longest ones we've done, man.
I know, almost 2 hours, but hey, thank you for everybody in the chat. That was awesome.
That was epic.
Fun. And Christina, 4 a.m. Wow.
Yeah, Ricky's like, I'm 42, and if I got $30,000, I'd be ecstatic. Exactly.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go to uchoospodcast.com, check out all the past episodes if you want to. And we'll do this again here in 2 weeks. And we'll have some different books. But until then, you choose the adventure and check out Proof Rock and Schmidt.
Two cops who just can't catch a break. One can see ghosts, the other lives with his mom. Proof Rock and Schmidt. Tune in and join them on their far-out adventures. Join Proof Rock and Schmidt as they topple crime bosses, defeat the cyborg Gypsy King, get Schmidt's mom to give him his own room.
Come on, Mom.
Schmitty, I need that for my sewing room.
Proof Rock and Schmidt.
All right.